Friday morning in the Jinin refugee camp. Another day marked with intense military activity as Israel deepens its operation in the occupied West Bank.
What we've been seeing all morning is Israeli diggers tearing at homes and buildings in the refugee camp. We've seen black smoke billowing from at least 3 buildings, at least one of them seemingly on fire, and Israeli military vehicles coming down the hill regularly over the course of the morning. And you can hear above me the drone, which has been buzzing all morning around this area. We've been speaking to local residents who've been forced to flee their homes in the camp just behind me. One of them saying that over the last few days, they've been hearing warnings from the Israeli forces coming from these drones, telling them to evacuate. And it's important to underscore that, of course, while we're talking about a refugee camp, this is a densely populated urban area filled with civilians.
In the areas surrounding the camp, roads have been completely destroyed and bulldozed by Israeli forces. Over recent days, the city has seen aerial strikes and ground attacks. The sound of live fire frequently puncturing the eerie quiet in this neighbourhood. 11-year-old Carmel is distraught, forced out of her home and now separated from some of her family members. We were inside the house and then the military came in, Carmel says. They told us to get out of the house and that we had 20 minutes to leave. When we came out onto the path, they detained my father, grandmother and uncle. Throughout the day, families, including young children and the elderly, fled on foot, evacuating under the close watch of Israeli forces. They kept repeating to us that this neighbourhood is now a closed military area, Hanin says. He raised his gun like this and told us that soon there would be explosions. Israel says they are targeting militants in the area, who they say are backed by Iran as part of a counter-terrorism operation. At least a dozen Palestinians have been killed so far, with dozens more wounded and detained, according to local officials. Thousands of civilians, meanwhile, have been forced from their homes. They came into our home and started searching the house. They told us we had 20 minutes to get out. Just as we were leaving, we saw them sitting inside our house as if it was normal. They were mocking us. But while Jenin remains the focal point of the Israeli military's ongoing assault, the country's defense minister has warned that the operation will expand everywhere, drawing, he says, on lessons learned from Gaza, sparking fear that the occupied West Bank may too be subjected to utter destruction. Bashir, CNN, in Jenin.